Did you know that there is a rich and quite fascinating history when it comes to recording studios in the United States? It's a history full of innovation, iconic moments, and they've basically helped shape the course of music history as we know it today.
What's up, guys? Jacob here with NextGenerationAcoustics.com. In this video, we're gonna go over the history of recording studios in the United States. But before we do, y'all make sure to subscribe.
From the early days of capturing sound on wax cylinders to the full Dolby Atmos digital studios of today, American recording studios have consistently been at the forefront of innovation and creativity in the world of music. In the early 20th century, the first primitive recording studios began to appear, using basic recording equipment and techniques to capture sound on wax cylinders and other media. And these places oftentimes weren't built like the picturesque, perfect sounding recording studios that we know of today. One of the earliest and most notable recording studios was the Victor Talking Machine Company.
The Victor Talking Machine Company wasn't only a recording studio, but in 1901, the owner Eldridge produced a machine called the Victrola, which was a phonograph recorder, allowing people to now record on a flat disc. It was able to be mass manufactured and distributed, which made recording much more widely available to the general public.
Its studio in Camden, New Jersey became the site of many historic recordings.
The disc record, for the first time, brought professional entertainment into the home. And that phenomenon went worldwide. But it started right here in Camden, New Jersey.
The work of many hands have brought the record to its destination.
A Victrola with an automatic record-changing mechanism that has everything.
At this time, recording was still a one-take process. As sound was captured directly onto wax, it limited opportunities for editing or correction. And with the post-World War II era came the introduction of magnetic tape recording, revolutionizing how music was captured.
There were significant advancements made to the process of recording in World War II due to the demand of communication requirements during the war. Germany was the ones to develop magnetic tape as they were seeking out more effective and better ways of communicating. Post-war, these technologies were adapted for commercial use, greatly enhancing the efficiency and quality of audio recording. World War II indirectly led to a major leap in the progress and capability of recording and audio technology.
With the ability to record, splice, and edit tracks, artists could now perfect their sound, making the recording process more creative and flexible. This technology opened the door for larger, more sophisticated studios.
Sugar Hill Recording Studios is the oldest recording studio in the United States. The only recording studio that we know of that's older in the world is Abbey Road, where the Beatles cut all of their records. It actually started in Bill Quinn's home, which is a part of Studio A, which we're in right now.
In the 1940s and the 1950s, the rise of magnetic tape allowed for greater control and flexibility in the recording process.
These meters on the recording console indicate the volume of sound coming from the orchestra onto the magnetic tape. In the old days, home phonographs could not reproduce either full loud passages or very soft passages. So they were literally kept off the record right here by sound monitoring. But it wasn't a faithful reproduction of the actual performance, such as you get with today's high-fidelity recording techniques. Today, as it should be, the conductor and his musicians control all of the dynamics, including all of the natural shadings, just as they do in a concert. The full dynamic power of the orchestra is faithfully transferred to the recording tape.
Although tape machines allowed artists to be able to perfect their recordings, it still was an extremely time-consuming process to go and make each take perfect. They had to splice each reel with an actual razor blade and tape it together perfectly to make an edit, which we could now do in mere seconds in a modern DAW like Pro Tools, Logic, or Ableton.
In the old days of recording on tape, sometimes we would use 150 reels of 2-inch tape for one album if we were doing a lot of takes. There were even times in the past where you'd put up a 2-inch tape, where we'd put up a 2-inch tape, something we were working on in the past, and you listen to it, and it didn't sound like it did when you recorded it because it starts degrading.
Things happen.
It can happen fast. It can happen if you mixed it a year later, it wouldn't sound anything like the original track.
That's why you got the rough mix is the good mix. That's why you got to do a mix the night of.
It's always changing.
Multitrack, and you get it on multitrack, and
It's
then you
alive.
mix it.
Wow.
It's
You
all
mix it
alive.
right there. Then you got that. That's what you got, and you got to figure out how do I preserve it.
Exactly.
And that's it. But if you get it, then the analog doesn't. The big master doesn't have a chance to start to disintegrate.
It can go and live its life.
You want to get it all at once. Everything. You get the faster, the better.
So although there was a huge impact and improvement in quality and ability to be able to record, it was still a tedious and time-consuming process, which still made it not necessarily available or able to be accessed by the wider general public.
Leading to the development of legendary studios, like Sun Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. Founded by Sam Phillips, Sun Studios would go on to record some of the earliest rock and roll tracks, including Rocket 88, which is often cited as the first rock and roll song. Sun Studios launched the careers of legends like Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, and Jerry Lee Lewis, helping to define an era of music. As the recording industry continued to evolve, the 1960s and the 1970s ushered in the era of multi-track recording. This technological breakthrough enabled artists to record multiple instruments or vocals on separate tracks and then mix them together later, leading to greater creativity in sound production. Iconic studios like Electric Lady Studios in New York City, where Jimi Hendrix recorded his most famous albums, and Motown's Hitsville in Detroit became synonymous with groundbreaking sound innovations and hit records. Motown in particular became a hit factory, producing legends and artists like Marvin Gaye and the Supremes, whose music dominated the charts during this era. Studio acoustics also saw major advancements during this period. Chess Studios in Chicago, for example, was a pioneer in acoustic design. By altering wall angles and using innovative sound treatment techniques, studios could now control the sonic environment, creating clearer and richer recordings. These innovations shaped the sound of many artists like Chuck Berry and Muddy Waters. The 1980s and 1990s marked the digital revolution in recording technology. With the rise of digital tape recorders and the development of compact discs, studios could now capture music with greater precision and clarity. The use of digital workstations allowed engineers to edit and perfect music in ways previously thought impossible, leading to faster production and to what could be controversially considered higher quality recordings. The transition from analog to digital opened new possibilities for both major studios and independent artists alike.
Now, we can't talk about the history of recording studios in America without talking about the rise of home recording studios, making the availability of recording basically available to everyone. And the process that we were talking about earlier with tapes that would take thousands or tens of thousands of dollars to record one project and tons of man hours could now be done at home for a few $100s or a few $1,000s in your spare time. This has led to a creative boom. And that's not even with us mentioning the rise of AI technology and AI music, which is a whole nother can of worms and something interesting to think about that may be a huge impact on music and audio in the future. However, when it comes to home recording studios, it has now made recording and access to recording available to everyone, which has led us to where we are today.
Today, the United States is home to some of the biggest and most advanced recording studios in the entire world. Recording facilities like the legendary Capitol Studios in Los Angeles, the iconic Hit Factory in New York City, and the world-renowned Ocean Way Studio in Nashville all offer state-of-the-art technology and facilities for artists to create their best work. This interesting yet fascinating history of recording studios in the United States is full of innovation and iconic moments that have helped shape the entire course of music. More that could even be possibly captured in a small documentary like this.
It's a subject that really requires thousands of hours to actually document all of the true history that has been involved to make recording technology and music what it is today.
From the beginning days of people just trying to catch sound on wax cylinders, all the way to the rooms that we have today that are state of the art, American recording studios have consistently been at the forefront of creativity in the world of music, driving the sound of music all around the world. And it continues to be home of some of the biggest and most advanced recording studios in the world today. Now, not all of us can compete with the big boys and have a world-class studio, but if you want to get the best possible sounding space in your room, feel free to check out our website or fill out our free room analysis form where we can look at your space and help you design it tailored to what you're doing in the room to optimize the sound and get the best possible sounding acoustic environment for your space. If you would like one-on-one help where we can personally answer all the questions you have about your space, feel free to book a consultation with us, link in the section below. I really hope you enjoyed the video and that you found it informative. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more interesting audio-related topics coming in the very near future. Again, don't forget to please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, thanks for watching. Talk to y'all again very soon.